When I come to think of the many friends that I have come to know through this project, this beautiful project, I must say that Rabbi Benjamin Kreitman stands out. He stands out as a friend, as a great visionary, and even as a mentor in many aspects with his great enthusiasm and the encouragement he has given me and the direction and practical advice in putting together all this we have tonight. I treasure the time we spent together. I treasure it in a chest full of insight, full of Torah leadership, and it's a treasure that I will keep for many years to come. And I must add, his beautiful family, his wife, Joyce, his daughter Jamie and Jill and their families have almost become extended cousins to myself and my wife, and it's been a pleasure working with you on putting together this wonderful tribute. Just earlier this evening, Rabbi Kreitman dedicated a classroom together with his family, a classroom in our school, showing his support and his outlook on the importance of the supporting Olei Torah, and he did it in the most beautiful manner. And ladies and gentlemen, I want to share this with you. Instead of taking the credit for himself, which he truly deserves, he told me, Rabbi Blumes, I want to dedicate it to members of a special class he gave for many years called the Mishnah class. It was a class when Sunday morning men and ladies gathered, learned the Torah, learned different passages, learned the Mishnah. They came with great passion and great encouragement each and every Sunday. This is something that Rabbi Kreitman instituted, and when he came visiting our school a few months ago, he actually heard the children learning the same Mishnahs that he taught in his class all those years ago. I pondered for a long time what would be an appropriate gift as a token of our appreciation to present to Rabbi Kreitman. Rabbi Kreitman is a very learned man. Rabbi Kreitman is has a great vision, but I wanted to give him a piece of silver, a piece of art, just really wouldn't fit. So ladies and gentlemen, what we decided to do was we collected all the articles and information that were put together in the Brooklyn Jewish Center Review, and we are going to present in a few moments to Rabbi Kreitman a beautiful leather-bound book of all the writings and all the articles that were printed in the Brooklyn Jewish Center Review for the years that he spent. And of course, there's two beautiful things I noticed while we were collecting this. Number one, his wife Joyce wrote the editorial for the sisterhood, and we included that in here. And Rabbi Kreitman, your greatest nachas, the greatest nachas you had was in the time of the Jewish Center, because every year at Rosh Hashanah there was a greeting. At the end of the review, in the month of September, they would put the greetings, everybody would greet each other for Rosh Hashanah. And I noticed something interesting. In the first year, your name was by yourself, Rabbi Benjamin Kreitman, alone. As they say in Yiddish, a bocher, a single young man. Later on, and a few years later, was Rabbi and Mrs. Kreitman. A few years later, Rabbi and Mrs. Kreitman and daughter. And a few years later, Rabbi and the book ends that way, Rabbi Benjamin Kreitman and his wife and his daughters, Jamie and Jill. I thought that was a beautiful, beautiful feeling to have, that while the time he spent in the Jewish Center, Rabbi Kreitman's family grew and prospered, and they continue to grow. And I wish you lots of nachas, gesund, a lot of good health, a lot of beautiful, beautiful time with your family together, and may you enjoy many, many years of happiness. Ladies and gentlemen, to make this presentation, I will be asking a very distinguished member in the New York community, Rabbi Joseph Potasnik, who is the head of the New York Board of Rabbis. We've all heard him very often on the radio, a very dear friend of Rabbi Kreitman. And even though it's just a few days before the high holidays, and we all know how busy we are, Rabbi Potasnik said he is here to give respect to Rabbi Kreitman, and I will ask him at this time to please come to the podium to say a few words as we make the presentation for Rabbi Kreitman.
Thank you, Rabbi. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm here for a few reasons. Firstly, I'm here to negotiate Rabbi Kreitman's renewal of contract. It's time he came back here with an increase in salary. Secondly, Rabbi Kreitman called me a few weeks ago and he said, "Joe, do you believe in free speech?" I said, "Rabbi, of course." He said, "Good. I want you to come tonight and give one." Years ago, the biographer of Churchill was asked, "To what do you ascribe the greatness of Churchill?" He said, 50% intelligence, 50% independence, 50% integrity. And the person said, "But that's 150%. He said, "You don't know Churchill. He's more than one person." The individual you honor tonight, Rabbi Dr. Benjamin Z. Kreitman, is much more than one person. Some people attain greatness but don't have goodness. Some achieve goodness but no greatness. Rabbi Kreitman synthesizes both. He's good, he's great. It's a great honor to be here tonight to be part of this presentation. Mazel tov to all of you.
Come to the podium. Rabbi Kushner, come. Rabbi Kushner, come. We'll just take a picture. It's a beautiful book here, Rabbi Kushner. One moment. At this time, we'd like to ask Rabbi Paul Kushner to come to the podium and join us in this beautiful, beautiful presentation.
All right. This way, to the left, to the left. Rabbi, to the left.
Okay.
All right. Okay.
Podium is yours.
Okay, thank you. I'm deeply grateful to Rabbi Potasnik for his remarks. His exaggeration is deeply felt, and I hope he can continue on to exaggerate about me and my family for many years to come. I want to thank Rabbi Blumes for his extraordinary and amazing organizational work in bringing about this particular affair. It made it possible for us to relive the glory days of the Brooklyn Jewish Center. It was a remarkable institution. They had the founding rabbi, Rabbi Leventhal, Israel Herbert Leventhal, the eminent preacher. It was a joy to come here, to listen to Rabbi Leventhal, to listen. Oh, I heard that. Was that applause I just heard? And then Richard Tucker, William Cantor, William, who named the Cantor, William Soller. This was an exciting, and I'll tell you what happened. There was I think it must have been around 1953 or 1954, before any of you were born. Harold Kalbel of Sholem was the president of the Young Folks League. had an average attendance on Tuesday evenings. Remember, it was Tuesday evenings of about 500 young people would come here. And Harold said to me one time, he summed it all up, "It is a joy to be a Jew." What an amazing statement. This was only a few years after the Shoah, after the terrible Holocaust, and a man to stand up and say it was only because of the Jewish Center and its programs, to say it's a joy to be a Jew. We are grateful to Rabbi Blumes to give us the opportunity of reliving the glory days of the Brooklyn Jewish Center. And I'd like to conclude what it means to me. Joseph was the viceroy of Egypt. He concealed his relationship to his brothers and his sisters for a moment. And then when he revealed himself, the first question he asked, Im od avi chai, does my father still live? My father Jacob Israel. And according to the latter-day Midrash, all of the brother tribes, the heads, joined in the statement, Od Avinu Chai, our Father is alive, and we're thriving, we're triumphant. This is Jewry today. With our resilience, with our spirit, we will overcome our enemies, and we will be able to bring, please God, within the near future, peace, shalom, and a sense of brotherhood for the sake of the entire Jewish community. And I want to say again, Amen.
Amen.